I have to go there. Really far, really far. Put your hands up and give a big round of applause. Try that. It's a good thing. Go louder, go louder, go louder, go louder. That's right. Exchange for Media, Influencer of the Year 2020. A platform that exchanged the most of masterclass people, thought, innovations, and more than that, what people bring to you on table. Today, this roof is all about people and it holds a key towards a masterclass thought. And we are getting started with what is coming our way right now. My name is Mithun Upadhyay. I'm going to be the host for the first chapter here, 5th edition. And we are very, very, very happy to have you all here, making time out on a Friday evening and joining us. So please give yourself a big round of applause because you deserve it. That's it. For yourself. For yourself. Okay, the 5th edition, the Hi-Fi, we call it, the Hi-Fi edition of the Influencer of the Year 2020 welcomes each one of you. Now, the award honors the visionaries who have transformed the industry and inspired the next level of growth while progressively using innovative technology for business achievements. And all this isn't possible with our partners. A big thank you to a partner to start with, our members from the ABP News. Aapko rakhe aage. A big round of applause for them as well, everybody, together. That's all, you clap? Come on. After 1 year, you had a chance to clap for something together. And of course, our gold partner, Clan Connect and DY Elephant, and our associate partner, Media Value Works. A big round of applause for them as well. Now, it's about talking, and then a step next, it's about watching. All eyes on screen, we present to you our partners, live and loud. Here you go.
न पाबंदी हो न कोई हद हो तो बस खुद बनाई सरहद हो। ये मुहिम है परतों में छिपे हर सच की तलाश की, सियासत पर रखी पैनी नजर और आंख की, खबरों की दुनिया में एक जिम्मेदार आवाज की, जुर्म और जुल्म के खिलाफ हर बेबस के लिए इंसाफ की। जब कोई हद नहीं इंसानियत के लिए जज्बात की, जब कोई हद नहीं खुशियों और ख्वाब की, तब कोई हद क्यों हो नए नजरिए और बदलाव की। तोड़ के हदों के ताले नए सपनों को पाले, बांधे सबको एक धागे, आपको रखे आगे। एबीपी न्यूज़।
Exchange for Media, a name synonymous with the latest news about the advertising industry in India. The Exchange for Media Group, set up in 2000, has the most credible media platforms covering the entire advertising, media and marketing domain with its highly acclaimed digital, print and on-ground assets. The group's flagship news portal, exchangeformedia.com, reaches over 6 lakh subscribers who are the first to receive breaking news in the industry. The buzzing website not only covers the news but goes beyond the obvious to bring in a fresh point of view. Impact, the weekly news magazine from the group, is the most widely read business magazine in the advertising trade, with in-depth analysis and news-based features providing perspective to key happenings in the industry. The monthly Pitch magazine provides a ringside view of events unfolding in the marketing landscape, along with media and advertising. Another monthly magazine, Realty Plus, is a market leader in reportage on the real estate industry. Today, Exchange for Media is not only a leading publisher in the domain, but owns the IP of more than 50 events spread across Mumbai, Delhi, and Bangalore, making it a powerhouse of information and knowledge sharing. Exchange for Media has curated and launched some of the most successful IPs across marketing, digital, TV, print, radio, mobile, OOH, and PR. The Impact Person of the Year, Exchange for Media Conclave, Indian Digital Marketing Awards, Tech Munch, Pitch CMO Summit, India Marketing Awards, Primetime Awards, Indian Content Marketing Awards, Golden Mics, NBAR are some of the group's top-notch events, in addition to niche, bespoke events and roundtables curated especially for discerning clients. Exchange for Media events attract stalwarts as speakers, along with a loyal audience comprising of leaders, trendsetters and opinion makers. They are the perfect networking platform for the entire media and advertising industry. No wonder Exchange for Media Group publications and events have high credibility and reach and are the destination of choice for agency, brand and media professionals across the industry. Exchange for Media.
BW Business World presents a rich legacy of curated events that enable conversations on policy issues in India.
Because of the state of our cities, we have no option but to build smart and resilient cities.
Digital India is more for the poor, underprivileged and the deprived.
Covering a range of topics, BW Business World events look to create a strong narrative around smart cities, digital India, healthcare, Swachh Bharat, human resource issues, education, banking and finance, among others.
The world is fast changing. Best practices are available now on the net.
विकास डेवलपमेंट पूरी राजनीति में ये फोकस बन गया है.
BW Business World events provide a speaking platform to the voices that matter.
स्मार्ट से ताल्लुक यह है कि हम जो बेसिक एमिनिटीज हैं उसको हम चुस्त दुरुस्त करें.
You don't have to be a technologist. You need to understand how technology influences the world.
Mahatma Gandhi was a great man. He was the leader of the freedom struggle.
We believe that e-governance and IoT will play a very, very important role.
BW Business World is an excellent exhibition platform that helps you showcase your services to the right audience.
BW Business World's digital transformation went on the fast track in 2020, marrying its legacy of credibility and robust business journalism to a technology-first world. Hosting over 250 virtual summits and webinars across its 17 niche business communities, with millions engaging with the power-packed content like BW Dialogue Series, Festival of Life web series, and custom-created webinars and hosting 20+ virtual summits. $33 million page views on an average, 21 special issues in 2020 hit the stands, and multiple IPs scheduled in the coming months, BW has taken a leadership position in the business news segment. To become a part of our legacy, write to us at partner@businessworld.in.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for all our partners one more time to what they bring to us and been doing for so many years now. Now, to proceed ahead, it's now time to welcome a master who defines a lot more different chapters in every course of life. An honor to welcome on stage Chairman and Editor-in-Chief, Exchange for Media Group and BW Business World, the one and only Dr. Anurag Batra, with a big round of applause, please.
Good evening. It's my honor and privilege to welcome you to the first Exchange for Media event, a physical event as we used to do 12 months back. We're happy that we are doing it in Bangalore. We did one event in February, our PR and Copcom Summit. So thank you for being part of the audience. It does feel surreal. This was the way we used to do things, and we are hopefully back to it now. It's amazing in a country like India. Like in Bangalore, I'm told you can go into any hospital and get a vaccination show your Aadhaar card and get it for $350. So really, the fact that there is a vaccine, the fact that COVID is on a wane in at least some parts of the country can help us do such initiatives. So I don't want to stand between you and the ceremony and the winner tonight and the conversation with him. I just want to say that we live in interesting times. Life is about hybrid business models. Physical and online, and I believe the more the online grows, the value of physical human touch grows. Exchange for Media Influencer of the Year is an initiative that we started 5 years back. We believed that we didn't have an award for our flagship property, Exchange for Media. We have an Impact Person of the Year, which is in the 16th year. Last year it was on 20th Feb, and Byju's Ravindran was the Impact Person of the Year. Our flagship is Exchange for Media. And we really believe that we don't have an award which really does justice to our flagship brand. So we instituted it 5 years back. You'll see in AV the journey of the Exchange for Media Influencer Award over the last 5 years. You'll see the winners have gone on to build fantastic companies. They were successful when we selected them. They were a mix of intrapreneurs and entrepreneurs. And they've gone on to build bigger initiatives. They've built large companies, and they continue to be super successful. So clearly the people we've chosen for Exchange for Media Influencer of the Year have what we call sustained excellence, sustained success. So tonight's winner will also be somebody who's possibly on his way up to do much bigger things and already has had an impact on our ecosystem. So I don't want to stand between you and the winner. The event is also live on exchangeformedia.com on our social media handles, and I look forward to celebrating the winner and the winner's achievements at the end of the evening. My friend and partner Naval is there. Our colleagues, Ms. Neha Walke, who's our head of South, is there. So really, we are happy along with our team to welcome you. Look forward to a great evening and look forward to conversations both before the drinks and after the drinks. Thank you.
Thank you so much. A round of applause for Dr. Anurag Batra one more time, ladies and gentlemen. And now it's time to see who has taken all of it for the year 2020. Well, before I kind of disclose who's the winner, quickly about him in just about one quote that I personally connect with, and I've been following him for some time now, and the best way to put him on a frame is, trifles make perfection. Perfection is no trifle. He is one such example. Ladies and gentlemen, Exchange for Media Influencer of the Year 2020. All eyes on screen. Let's see. Who is it?
Naveen Tiwari, founder and CEO, InMobi Group, lives by his philosophy of constant innovation and disruption. In a short span, Naveen has made his mark by transforming the startup into a global technology giant. An alum of the prestigious IIT Kanpur and Harvard Business School, Naveen took the plunge into the world of entrepreneurship quite early. In 2007, he founded mCoach, which was enhanced and rebranded as InMobi in 2008. 3 years later, InMobi became the first Indian unicorn startup company. It is currently the world's leading mobile advertising platform. InMobi Group added lock screen content platform Glance and the top Made in India short video content app Roposo to its portfolio. A strong proponent of India's startup ecosystem, Naveen has mentored over 60 young technology companies. Naveen has also served as a board member at payment technology company Paytm. Naveen is also a fitness enthusiast. He likes starting his day with a long run or a bike ride. Naveen has won several accolades over the years, including the Distinguished Alumnus Award from IIT Kanpur for Excellence in Entrepreneurship and the Dean's Award at Harvard Business School for his exceptional leadership and contribution. In 2013, he earned the Pathbreaker of the Year award presented by PM Narendra Modi. For his remarkable achievements, the Exchange for Media Group takes immense pride in conferring the Influencer of the Year 2020 title to Mr. Naveen Tiwari.
Naveen, I understand you're getting an award. That's awesome. Nothing could make me more proud. But listen, the best award is the sense of accomplishment that I'm sure you have, and that I am sure you will keep on buttressing in a variety of different ways. Listen, I'm sitting here reflecting on what I can say in a short 30-second spiel, but I just remember you sitting in my classroom. Was it a decade ago? Maybe 2 decades? You know, at my age, time blurs. But I do remember it actually pretty well, and I remember a whole bunch of your InMobi and predecessor company teams attending some of my classes in, was it in India or in Singapore? I can't remember. And watching the story come up, it's awesome.
There have been so many times where, he's thought of things for the future, which most of us have not been able to think of. And initially you might think, what's going on? What is he thinking of? And when they come true a couple of times, at that point in time, then you start feeling, what a great quality this is, and, how can he even do that? And then you start having blind faith. And I think that's one of the key things that an entrepreneur should have the ability to, one, see the vision, and then second, also sell that vision to the other people. So I think this is a very well-deserved award. I think he has been doing this every month, every day, every year, and finally being recognized as the influencer of the year there is no more apt thing for Naveen than this. So congratulations, Naveen, very well deserved, and we're all rooting for you. All the very best to you.
Naveen, congratulations on winning the Influencer of the Year award for 2020. I can probably think of 2008, where InMobi was all of less than 10 people in size, and we were operating out of this small gala in Mumbai. And to make a point, you actually took the board and started by explaining the overall world's GDP and how InMobi is fitting into that GDP. Now, we all were looking at each other and bemused with your ability to be able to think that big, and most importantly, bring it down to a level where it can be executed.
Congratulations, Naveen. This award is very well deserved. Naveen is quite honestly the most creative entrepreneur I've ever worked with, and I've worked with many through the years. He has a unique ability to quickly understand and analyze complex ecosystems and design differentiated solutions to some very complex problems. He also has a unique ability to execute and build businesses around those solutions. It's pretty hard to find skill set in one entrepreneur. But most impressive is Naveen's passion for InMobi's people and our culture.
Congratulations, Naveen, on winning the Influencer of the Year award. I've had the good fortune of knowing Naveen Tiwari and working closely with him in the last few years. What I truly admire about Naveen are firstly his burning ambition to be the best on the planet in anything that he does, and the fact that he's able to drive innovation at scale by backing his people and his team is truly remarkable. And most of all, the way in which he conducts his business in a very quiet and efficient manner. That's something I really admire.
Naveen, congratulations. Ever since I first met you as a superstar business analyst from McKinsey, now at Harvard, you've always been full of big, bold, ambitious ideas. And what I've seen since, whether it was in San Francisco or watching M-Coach in its early days, or joining the 10th year celebrations of InMobi, is you've combined that energy and ambition with empathy. You care about people, you care about the community, which is why we all are with you, we all root for you, and we want you to succeed, and we want to do everything we can to help you succeed. And that's why it's been so great to see you lead InMobi with such energy and resilience through ups and downs, and through the great success of the last couple of years, and with many years of wonderful success to come ahead. Congratulations, Naveen. You fully deserve this award.
Naveen, congratulations. Influencer of the Year award is such a well-deserved recognition. But this is no surprise. You've always been an influencer, always a leader. I remember the time straight out of IIT when you were figuring out how to fit into the norms of the consulting world, and with a very wonderful, earthy feel, questioned why things were done the way they were. This ability to think out of the box with empathy is a hallmark you've always carried forward in life.
Hey Naveen, this is Rajit. First of all, congratulations on winning Influencer of the Year award for 2020. This is so well deserved. You know, all of us are so proud of everything that you have achieved so far.
Naveen, heartiest congratulations for yet another feather in your cap. It gives Dharani and me great joy to see the phenomenal success you have achieved with InMobi over the last 15 years.
Naveen, congratulations on this incredible award. But I have to say, I'm not surprised. Because I remember all those years ago at HBS with all our classmates, how you literally infected them with your passion for India.
Naveen, awesome news and many congratulations on this award. Well done, and I hope you continue this awesome trajectory and building what you're building.
Naveen Dost, just got to know that you have received the Influencer of the Year award from Exchange for Media. बहुत बहुत मुबारक हो दोस्त.
बहुत बहुत बधाई हो नवीन. कुछ पंक्तियां तुम्हारे लिए. तुम नवीन हो दोस्त, नवीनतम. सहजता से तुमने बढ़ाया सफलता का हर कदम. हम कदम अदिति तुम्हारे, नियति भी वश में तुम्हारे. अविन तुम्हारी छवि है मित्र, खुशियां चूमे तुम्हारे कदम. बहुत बहुत बधाई हो भाई जी.
Betu and Aditi, both of you have made not only us feel proud, but the whole helmet of Rajgala village and every youth of this country will feel encouraged by your achievement.
Hi Naveen, congratulations on winning this big award, beta. I always said you are the crown jewel of our family, and that's what you are. You make us proud all the time.
Congratulations, Naveen, for receiving the Influencer of the Year award. This has added another feather to your crown. Your vision, ability, and hard work has put InMobi group of companies on the forefront of India, and that in turn has put India on the world map.
Hey Naveen, I heard about this awesome award that you are getting. Very nice. Well done and well deserved. Congratulations to you and to everyone else involved in this journey.
नवीन, आज का दिन बहुत ही अद्वितीय है तुम्हारे लिए और परिवार के लिए. तुमने जो कुछ भी किया है अपने परिवार के लिए और सक्सेस की जो सीढ़ियां चढ़ी हैं तुमने, वो हमेशा चढ़ते रहो.
हेलो नवीन, कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस. तुम्हें इस स्पेशल अवार्ड का मिलना हम सभी के लिए बहुत हर्ष एवं गर्व की बात है. ईश्वर से यही प्रार्थना है कि तुम जीवन के हर क्षेत्र में सफलता की हर सीढ़ी पर कामयाबी हासिल करो.
Congratulations Naveen, very happy to see you succeed, see you do so well. I'm sure you will have many more such successes. I've seen you grow and I'm sure you will continue to do well. All the best.
Hello Naveen, congratulations. Happy for your success and bright future. Love, blessings and best wishes from me. God bless you, dear.
Congratulations Naveenji on winning the Influencer of the Year 2020 award. Your dedication, hard work, resilience and commitment towards InMobi has been exemplary over the last 14 years since you started this company.
Congratulations Bhaiya. You truly deserve this and much more. And I must say that you have come a long way from the crazy idea of drawing the soccer field using a helicopter to establishing the InMobi group.
Congratulations Naveen. May you grow more higher in life. Remain grounded as you are always. Many people look up to you I know you will not fail them. The country wants much more from you. All the best, bro.
Badai Bhanje Raja, how are you? I'm sure on top of the world as usual. You are ambitious of the entire family. Like शोखियों में घोला जाए थोड़ा सा स्वभाव उसमें फिर मिलाई जाए थोड़ी सी शराब होगा यो नशा जो तैयार वो प्यार है and that is our भांजे राजा.
बेटू मैं तुम्हारी इस कामयाबी पे बहुत कुछ बोलना चाहती हूँ लेकिन मेरे पास कोई शब्द ही नहीं है. मैंने तो तुम्हारे लिए हमेशा खुली आंखों से सपने देखे हैं और तुमने उन सपनों को हमेशा पूरा किया है और मेरे लिए इससे ज़्यादा खुशी की बात और कोई हो ही नहीं सकती. गॉड ब्लेस यू बेटा.
Congratulations, Naveen, on receiving this amazing award. You are a very special soul and you are here to do some great things. This is just the beginning. You made it in spite of all the hurdles, and trust me, I never doubted once that you would not succeed. Be very proud of yourself. Your selflessness and dependability for your entire ecosystem makes you so special. I am always by your side. Take good care of yourself. Love you. I want to recite 2 lines that reminds me of your grit and determination. जिसने भी इस खबर को सुना सर पकड़ लिया कल एक दिए ने आंधी का कॉलर पकड़ लिया. You are that diya to all of us and we are so very proud of you.
Congratulations on this award, Dad. You inspire people every day and you work so hard. You really deserve this award and stay safe and I love you.
Congratulations, Dad. If there was an official category for the best dad in the world, you would have won it too.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor now to welcome on stage to present the Exchange for Media Influencer of the Year 2020. Before that, quickly want to join us on stage right now, Mr. Naval Ahuja, co-founder, Exchange for Media, along with Ms. Sneha Walke, and of course, Dr. Anurag Batra on stage right now to honor the man of the year, the Exchange for Media Influencer 2020. As the 2 gentlemen and lady joins us right now, I take an honor and pride and request you all to please join in and give a standing ovation as we welcome the one and only, our Influencer of the Year 2020, Exchange for Media, Mr. Naveen Tiwari. Well, ladies and gentlemen, 2020 is known for many odd reasons, but one reason that we shall all cherish, and that is one name, Mr. Naveen Tiwari, founder and CEO InMobi Group, on stage at the moment. Yet again, I request you all to please give a round of applause to the man himself who holds the key of the year 2020, Exchange for Media Influencer 2020, Mr. Naveen Tiwari. Congratulations to a very happy gentleman on stage right now with the happy presenters. And at this very moment, I would take an honor to pass on the mic to the gentleman if you could probably add to this entire moment.
First of all, thank you so much. I'm truly humbled and accept this on behalf of my team, which actually makes all of these things possible. But before I start, I must say it is so amazing to be here in front of people. You know, we've been missing that for the last 12 months. You know, getting on a stage was the last thing possible in the last 12 months. So I think there is a lot of God's grace out here, which makes all of these things possible. And I think at the end of this last one very tough year, one thing has become very clear, that there are a lot of much bigger things in life that what we would not have imagined earlier. And those things are much more important and dear, which includes family and friends. And it was so touching to see so many things being said. I had no idea when your team pulled this off. It was a complete surprise for me. maybe you did break the surprise a little bit by saying something, but I had no idea that there was so much going on there. But thank you so much. This is a great platform. You've built a phenomenal company out here yourself, and a great platform for recognizing people, and truly humbled to be here. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, the man himself, Mr. Naveen Tiwari, Exchange for Media Influencer 2020. बैंगलोर की ऑडियंस क्लैप बहुत कम करती है क्यों? All right, thank you so much. I request you all to please take your seats right now. Nawal, good to see you again. Okay, now, a quick journey towards the 5th edition, and then if you thought that was it from Naveen Tiwari, no. We're going to have him on a fireside chat and a master who will pull out more from him. But quickly, on the journey of Exchange for Media Influencer of the Year 2016 onwards. And quickly, on the first edition, the winner was Mr. Raj Nayak, founder, House of Cheer, and former co-Viacom 18. Also, on the second edition, 2017, our winner was CVL Srinivas, country manager for WPP. In the year 2018, our two winners, Mr. Virendra Gupta and Mr. Umang Bedi, and founder and CEO Delhi Hunt, and the other one, co-founder Delhi Hunt. The last year, 2019, the winner was Mr. Sanjay Gupta, country manager, Google India. And this year, 2020, yet again, I request you all to get your hands together. One more time for the man himself, Mr. Naveen Tiwari. And now, I told you, we'll not leave it at that. We've got so much more from our Dr. Anurag Batra, who's going to get on a fireside chat with Mr. Naveen Tiwari, and he's got some interesting questions that he's set up for you. But in case, look at you, why you have so straight faces? Lady is smiling, the lady is smiling, the lady is smiling. So are you happy? You look very happy. You look very happy, very dearly happy. Who else is not happy here? Are you sure? Are you sure? There's cocktail after this. Okay, you're happy now. Okay, that works. Okay, anybody who's not happy? After how many years or decades are you with so many people? After about 1 year. That felt like a decade right now. So how about you be more happy and give yourself a big round of applause one more time? Oh. How many of you speak Kannada? I think that's why I'm not getting claps. Namaskara. Swagata, suswagata. Chapale barbekala jorage. Oh, now people are clapping. I like it. Yes. I'm like, oh, Bangalore mein hai, thoda Kannada to baat karna zaruri hai. How many of you do not speak Kannada at all? Please learn. It's a very good language. I'll teach you. You learn from me? Say, Hegidira. Hegidira. Chanagidini. That means I asked you, how are you? And I said, I'm good. Now I'm going to ask you this question. Utaita, you know what Utaita is, right? I do. Wow, I learned. I can teach Kannada in like seconds. Did you see that? Round of applause one more time. Okay, we're ready to go into this one. And what is coming our way? I told you earlier, it's now time to get into fireside chat, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome first a mentor who's going to take you through the entire journey of questions and much more and find a fine tune about the answers. Please welcome Dr. Anurag Batra, Chairman and Editor-in-Chief, Exchange for Media Group and BW Business World. And of course, joining him in a chat show is going to be the one and only our Exchange for Media Influencer of the Year 2020, Mr. Naveen Tiwari, with a big round.
First of all, please give Naveen a bigger round of applause. Really hearty ones. And as you know, we've pioneered technology. If you clap louder, you get 2 free beers. There are cameras. Automatically, somebody is watching them. So the louder you clap, you get whatever drink you want. But first of all, congratulations, Naveen. And
thank you so much.
Thank you. That was really heartwarming to see. Of course, your professional success is well known, but to see your family rallying around you, and there was a genuine warmth. So let me start by asking you, how were your last 12 months, both personally and professionally? Give us a sense of what kept you busy and what was different about the last 12 months.
You know, I think it's needless to say what happened in the last 12 months is the world's been impacted by it. But I believe the last 12 months has, you know, despite the fact that it's been so traumatic on people, you know, when it comes to health and when it comes to a lot of the pain that people suffered. But I think as humans, we have all come out very different at the end of these 12 months. We have all, evolved very differently. Probably, if you were to ask me the same question about my business, I would say digital has evolved drastically. But actually much more than that, I think our own evolution as human society and as individuals has been the most in these last 12 months. What would have taken probably every one of us, a decade or 2 decades to get to, in about a year, we all have, evolved that much. Whether it comes to, balancing and understanding the importance of our environment, understanding the importance of our family, understanding the importance of our own health. A lot of these things have just become so crystal to all of us, and hopefully they stay with us for a long period of time. So, it feels like, nature has its ways of, cleansing the system. And this has had a very broad stroke cleansing. And personally for me, the last 12 months, I felt significantly evolved in my own thinking, in my own, ways of dealing with life going forward, and hopefully it'll be for the better. Of course, the last 12 months were tough. It started off by somehow figuring out what would happen professionally. First, what would happen personally, then what would happen professionally. And then everyone would stand up and say, look, if you have to manage your business, you have to fire people and reduce cost. And, we took a very hard call of saying we will not let anybody go. We will keep them. But we will, instead of, having few people suffer, every one of us will distribute the pain. And so across the company, I was so happy. Across the company, everybody volunteered and agreed to taking a pay cut in order for, not few people to suffer. Because, professionally, an enterprise cannot run if it's not, set up rightly. And I think that setup required a different way to think about it. So I felt very, very proud of the way everyone, stood up, not for themselves, but for the person next to them. And I think that little, at a microcosm of our company, what happened there was probably what's happening in the world. And therefore, we are all in a much better space today than what we were 12 months ago, despite having gone through so much pain and suffering.
Thank you so much, Naveen. You make it sound easy. Now, clearly, in your journey of InMobi, it's looking very good. The numbers are looking good. You pivoted, you built 3 large companies within the company. We know the successful moments, but give us a sense of some tough moments, especially in the last 5 years. I'm not just talking last, when you're building products, when you were conquering new markets, your ambition was big. You're taking on 2 big giants like Google, Facebook. So give us a sense of some of the things that didn't go your way, at least the first time.
Look, a lot of the people in the audience are, have their own businesses, are entrepreneurs. The reality of every entrepreneurial journey is not in the successes. Successes are few. What really doesn't get told is the successes after you have done a lot of failures. And so the list of failures are way too many. But those failures are very important because that's why the success is that much sweeter. I would say about in the last 4 or 5 years, we've evolved a lot as a company. 5 years ago, we were in the digital our main business to begin with, was in the digital advertising space. And it was very clear, by the way, that with Google and Facebook, the way they were growing, they would take over the market. And everybody was drawing this straight line to say, the market would just be taken away by them. Investors had, pulled away to say, well, you know what, we can see a trend line. And that's the reality of life, that people draw trend lines too quickly and they always go in a straight line. And the writing for us, at least, was given to us, told to us that, look, it's, you would not necessarily be as successful as we thought you'd be. And it's hard to be told that, but we were. And I think from there on, we charted a very different path for ourselves, a path which was slightly different from what path many other startups have taken. Maybe 5 years later, in hindsight, I would say everybody should take that path because we got successful in it. But there are a few things that we did. One, we said that, e- despite the fact that you have a startup, that does not give you a free ride to just continuously burning money. You know, you have to actually build a sustainable business. So the first very important thing that we focused on, and we thought, by the way, in the beginning, that it's impossible to build sustainable businesses because nobody else had done it. And why would you do this? Why should you do this? Because there is some, you know, line of cash that keeps coming in and you keep burning somebody else's cash. That's a great sign of building a great business, right? But it wasn't so. It's not real. In reality, you have to, business has certain fiduciary responsibilities. So we actually focused on that, built a sustainable business. It was hard, but in about a year, we got to being a profitable company, and we have maintained it since then. Not just maintained it, we have actually grown it significantly since then. So that was one big change that we brought in ourselves, and it gave us a sense of freedom, which we loved. It also humbled us a lot. You know, we went away from a lot of media. We didn't have sound bites for media, but we had hard bites inside the company. We made hard decisions. We did the boring stuff. And I think business should be boring. You know, businesses are not built to be, you know, in the news. Businesses are built to deliver services to the end customers. And I think, you know, as an entrepreneur in India, and it's, by the way, it has its own advantages, but entrepreneur in India, getting celebrated too quickly has its challenges, you know, and I caution a lot of new entrepreneurs today to be very wary of that. The advantage of that is that, you know, startups have gotten a huge status in the country, much ahead of what they contribute in reality, by the way. But it is important because I think, you know, it created a new economy, a new sector. So that was one. I think the second thing we did was we really focused on innovation. Reality in technology businesses is that capital will never win you the game. The only thing that will ever win you the game is going to be innovation. And innovation is not to be done by, you know, some subunit sitting somewhere, some division of the company. It has to be done by everybody. We did three major, you know, innovations. The first one was within the advertising space, we realized that advertising in general is going to be very automated. It has to be completely transparent, automated, has to scale without putting people on the job. It has to scale by itself. And it has to scale like this globally. And so we took a bet on a direction that advertising would get to 5 years hence. This is back in 2015, 2016. And at that point of time, our business in the US used to be about 5, 10%, 10%. Today, our share of business in the US is 60%. And we innovated in the toughest market, which US is the most advanced advertising market in the world, and we are gaining significant share there. So we innovated on the core business. The second thing we did was to innovate on the consumer business. And as we innovated on the consumer business, we actually funded that business from our own proceeds, which was hard. But we innovated and created a consumer platform called Glance, which was completely done in-house with, you know, less than 10 people. Today, the platform has, you know, we innovated to redefine what a lock screen should be able to do on the phone, and the fact that lock screen should be the biggest content platform that all of us use. We built that in-house. We are very proud of it. Why? We are very proud of it because consumer businesses are never built out of India. Like InMobi, frankly, prior to this was the first product company out of India. But India has not created global consumer companies. And, you know, Glance, hopefully, at the scale at which it is, at about 125, 130 million daily active users today, is already entered the top 10 consumer platforms just behind Twitter and Snap. So it scaled drastically. But we didn't burn billions of dollars building that. You know, because it was a core product, we actually focused on building the right product. And that business has scaled quite a lot. And in the last year or so, less to our doing, we are now one of the leaders in the short video space because TikTok went away. So I don't want to take all the credit for it. But, you know, in an entrepreneur's life, every entrepreneur faces too many, you know, hardships, too many things going wrong. It's okay to accept one of these things go your way. So we gladly kind of accepted it. say, look, yeah, we didn't do too much to influence that, but you know what? After 10 years, one such strong positive stroke, we'll take any day. So we're one of the leaders in the short video space right now, and hopefully, my belief fundamentally is that entertainment in the country is going to change. It'll be far more authentic. It'll be far more creative. It'll be far more coming from the grassroots, and we'll enable that. So,
Naveen, you make it sound so easy. But now, in 2015, you said that we are a startup, and I hope we stay a startup. Now that you are at such a scale, how do you retain those qualities of being a startup? Because, sometimes scale can bring in complacency. It can bring in a sense of achievement, which is not a value that startups have. Startups grow because they're hungry. They always want to do better than. So how are you making sure, even with the success of InMobi at the scale that it has got, success of Glance, the success of Reposo, how do you maintain that startup culture?
Look, we are just getting started. It's been it's a test match, and I think we've just hit lunch, right? And the lunch has just come in, and it's been 10 years, 12 years. So there is a lot more sessions to go. We're not building this company just, I hope the company goes far beyond myself and into many generations. We are also not trying to just earn a great living for the people. I think what we are trying to do is try to put India on the map in a very substantial manner. I think we get too complacent too quickly. We build a small company, $1 billion company, then you're very happy. That's not it. At $1 billion, I say this to too many people. I say
$1 billion revenue, $1 billion valuation.
Both are small.
Good.
Because what happens?
By the way, there is a new term. There was this term called unicorns. Now there is a new term called Sunicorn. Soon to be a unicorn. So I'm sure there'll be more terms like that. But go on, Naveen.
Yeah, but look, the reality is it's a pathway, right? We don't, if you become a unicorn, you don't make any dent in the universe. Like you think you're very important, you're not. You hardly exist. Like you're a speck in the larger universe. So if you really want to make some meaningful impact in the world, then you have to be aiming much bigger than that. And I think the reason so to me, startup is a mindset, not a size argument. The mindset of continue to have a learning mindset, continue to learn, be very inquisitive, be hungry, and execute fast. That's what a startup is. And we do that. And we kind of layer that with innovation. And I hope we continue to do this. Look, the thing that worries me is losing this ability to constantly do this for a long period of time is the only thing that worries me. The business cycles will come and go. We may have another, 3 years later, we may have, few bad years. You can't change that. I don't control that. I think the only things I control is the process through which we go through this. So I hope we stay a startup with a mindset. I hope we don't change that. I hope everybody becomes a startup from a mindset point of view, but you continue to grow larger.
I mean, again, you said that you build products in companies if you are able to see patterns. Okay, but you said you build bigger companies and bigger products and are more successful if you're able to disrupt those patterns. Tell us, what are the patterns that, as we speak, in March 2021, InMobi, Reposo, and Glance are disrupting?
Look, it's a very important point. When we grow in our childhood, you can be a very successful person if you follow some, traditional things like, go to good school, study well, do engineering, blah, blah, blah. You'll all be successful. But if you want to break out from that, then you should not do this. You should do something else. Because if you do this, then you're not going to be, you're not going to break out from there. Similarly, I think the pattern recognition is historical. So you're looking in the past and saying, okay, what happened in the past is what will happen in the future, which if you can see, then 1,000 other people can see. So, good luck in trying to create anything. But if you really want to change something, then you have to create a pattern. To us, we looked at few things. One was, I remember, I think, first week of April last year, we sat down and said, okay, we are dead. Then we said half an hour later, this is great. We should now figure out how to change the business. And we took a bet on 5 sectors that, from an advertising point of view, we were never focused on. We said, look, if this was the world that were to continue, here are the 5 sectors that would, look, advertising in travel, hospitality, all of this was zero suddenly. Suddenly your business was going to tank. We started to look at new sectors, gaming, looking at
Fintech.
productivity, tech, fintech, all of these. We chose 5 sectors through at those sectors which were contributing to less than 5% of our revenue. But today they contribute about 60-70% of our business. But in a matter of 3 months, I wouldn't call it pivot, but I would call it mild transformations that we led that changed the way our business was would be. So when the business actually really came back, towards the end of second quarter or the beginning of July, we were right up there, taking advantage of it. But that was effectively because we looked at the trend and we said, we took some bet. Now we could have, by the way, all been that could have backfired big time and, we would be in a worse off situation, but it's okay. I think one needs to take these
You
bets.
make it sound so easy and simple and so coherent, but it's never that a straight line. Now, you alluded to 2 things that I want to ask you. You talked about conquering a very competitive market dominated by 2 giants who have, in spite of being giants, have a startup mentality, have the cash to be able to experiment and be successful, Google and Facebook. So the Atmanirbhar feeling has only come in the last 12 months, but you try to conquer the world. And second is the fact that we've been a service-based economy. We've been building service companies. We've never built product companies. Do you think you'll see more and more product companies coming out of India, whether it's in the advertising space or is in other businesses?
Oh, yes, of course. So let me answer both your questions. I think to answer your second question first, which is more around the product companies, absolutely. I think it is certainly going to be the case where we'll see more product companies, especially in the software space. Look, the software space is creating some phenomenal companies because India has figured out how to do high quality go-to-market. In fact, the last 12 months, if it has an advantage, it'll give India a great advantage because go-to-market does not require you to be in front of customers anymore. The go-to-market can actually be done remotely. So one of the earlier challenges used to be that to be in front of a customer, you actually had to be in New York or in San Francisco or Chicago. You don't have to do that. You could be sitting in Madurai and actually literally do those sales in a very efficient manner. So the go-to-market bridge is actually far lower than what it was earlier. I think the software bridge we have been able to build in the last 10 years. So if I were to bet on a sector, I would bet on a software as a service sector coming out of India going global. So I would take a very strong bet on that. I actually forgot your first question.
It's about having global ambitions. Because traditionally, Indian entrepreneurs have always thought about conquering India.
Yeah, look, again, if you can build a company in India, if you build a consumer company in India, then your business can actually look 4 or 5x larger if you can actually focus on taking that business in, let's say, Southeast Asia, Middle East. Because suddenly your scope of business changes. In reality, India is a small market. India has a lot of people, but with small market. Only 27 million people have paying capacity. So if you have 27 million people with paying capacity, then unless until you build a commodity business that serves everybody in the country, it is hard to make a substantially large business. So therefore, you would see a lot of consumer. I would suggest that a lot of consumer businesses should start to look at Southeast Asia, Asian markets, so that they can play the long game in India. The challenge is you have to play the long game in India. You cannot play, we're not like China or the US where the consumers would pay a lot, very quickly and you will build a sustainable business. So sustainability of the business will only come in if you actually, capture a few other markets. And it's actually not that hard for Indian businesses, which basically are serving India, to go and capture some of those markets.
Thank you, Naveen. Now, let me give you 2 data points. you talked about sectors that exploded. Stock market is one of them. Of course, Mr. Junjunwala keeps saying we'll now hit 1 lakh. Now that his 50,000 mark has been achieved. In the stock market in the last 11 months, from 2 crore investors in the stock market, we went to 4 crores plus. So a doubling in 1 year. Let's look at the US e-commerce market. From 2020 till from 2000 to 2020, it was 16% of the overall commerce, as in overall retailing, and it became 27%. So 11% in 11 months. So give us a sense of some trends that you notice and we all in this room and in this community should be cognizant of.
Look, I think there are a few. I think one, it's not even a surprise that digital is going to be a trend anymore. Like, it's not a trend, it's prime time. But it's become prime time in a year, right? So, I don't know how many of you still watch whatever, the Dish TV, the Tata Sky equivalent. Everybody's moved OTT. Like, those things didn't happen. Like, they would take 4, 5, 6 years, 10 years. So I think digital leap is just, phenomenal. I think the second one, which is a big leap, which is happened or just happening as we speak, is artificial intelligence. Now, everybody uses the term, but I don't think anybody understands the term. I don't know how many businesses really are built with artificial intelligence, because it seems to be a term which is more on the PowerPoint than in reality to serve the customers right now. But I think if Indian businesses have to succeed, they have to really embrace artificial intelligence in a way to serve our customers' every need. I think that's going to be phenomenal, because the thing with what happened with the digitization trend, if you combine that with the AI trend, here's what it does. Because the digital market trend is so aggressive, the businesses are large, that in that sector, if you leverage AI, then if you leverage AI or if you do not, those are two scenarios, right? So if you do not leverage AI, then you'll be out of the business in 2 years. And if you leverage AI, then you'll win the game in 2 years. So it's a 2-year play, and 2 year I'm being generous. So in that time frame, it is not in isolation. This is not in isolation. This is in conjunction with AI, because, the game would just be over. Like, it will just be over.
Okay, Naveen, let me ask you one personal question. It's a cliched saying, what got you here won't get you there, or wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
You've been very successful. Your company has been successful. Hopefully, its best is yet to come. What do you think will change in the way you operate to be able to win bigger bets that you're making?
I think that your point should be taken at a different abstraction. When you say what got you here will not get you there further, I think I agree with that. But I think what's constant in that is the fact that if somebody has a learning mindset and your organization has a learning mindset, so then they will come up with a new thing. The challenge is to say, I will continue to do what I did in the past, is a mindset of saying, I know the best. And I think when someone says, I know the best, is the time when the downfall starts. What we try to do, at least in our organization, is to remain hungry about learning. And it's hard, because with success comes some bit of ego. And if one can fight that a little bit off, then you have a learning mindset. We'll figure out what the next path would look like. I just don't know what it is. I don't know what the next path is. But I hope that somebody in my company, in my organization, on some call is teaching me what's the next thing to do. And I hope I'll pick it up and not be blinded by it. That's the only thing I hope for. And if I do that enough, we probably will get further.
Okay, my last 2 questions before I bring in the audience. There is a bar and, there's food and, I'm sure. First is, who are your role models?
You're not being liked by too many people, because look, here is the deal. We are from Bangalore, you're not. And in Bangalore, we are civil people, more civil. And we really like to go, we really like to go out, but we don't go out that often because we are civil. Now that you've called all of us, and the bar is there, and you have kept the 2 of us sitting here, I am telling you, it is not a great sign, because we are rowdy.
Yeah.
We can get rowdy if
but
needed.
You said they're civil people and they're enjoying your... But that's why I said, let's make it quick. When you are going on this journey, do we see InMobi doing an IPO in 2021?
I can't comment on it.
Okay. That means maybe, that possibly means maybe. So let me move.
No, I was taught, I'll tell you what I was taught. I was taught to say, what is that? I can neither agree nor deny, something like that. I'm learning these things. You know when you learn these things.
Good. I remember meeting Naveen 4 years back, maybe 5. He was coming back from Delhi that day. I was in Bangalore and I met him.
I went to meet you there. You didn't meet me there. So you met
Really?
me.
Okay. Because they're more civilized people in Bangalore. I wanted to spend more time here and can kind of get the rub off. So, but coming back to, who are the people you look up to or take advice from? Apart from, we saw the number of admirers in the family, your classmates, people who've taught you.
Yeah.
But from a scaling standpoint, from an Uber scaling, you're saying the trends are changing very fast. So what do you do? Who are the people you talk to? How do you keep that learning mindset, that curiosity? Who do you go to advice for?
Look, I'll tell you one thing. Over the last few years, in the early part of our journey, you get, I was saying earlier, right? You get a lot of accolades from people, media especially, and you become too full of yourself. Then you get thrown down. Then you kind of, get the reality of life. So the point being, you get to a stage where you realize, wait a minute, I do not know anything. And the only way for me to, go figure out things is, learn from probably every conversation, which does not mean that you're talking to everybody all the time. But what it means is that you're very, not just me, but my whole management team is very open about going and seeking advice from people. The kind of people, and there are different kinds of people that we seek advice from. So you saw one of my professors, he's on our board, Professor Tarun Khanna. He's a great mind, strategist, world renowned. He's on our board. He will tell me something and I will probably get that 3 months later. But it's because of the depth of, some of the thoughts of some of those people that's phenomenal. There are a lot of very successful entrepreneurs in the country, very successful, from the Infosys to the Tatas, to the Birlas, to the Mahindras, to the Ambanis. They built such phenomenal institutions over the last many years. They may not, all of them, they may not be in a similar business as ours, but that does not change the fundamentals of the business. So going and seeking their advice, even if they give you an hour, is so good because that tells you so many things to think about differently, which may not be applicable on the spot tomorrow morning, but certainly that you learn you learn that way. And then we are also very aware that massive companies largely are created in outside of India. They are created in the US. So going and speaking with a lot of the folks who think very differently about creation of businesses is another dimension to it. Like for example, we are very close to Microsoft and Google, and we try and spend a lot of time with them to learn from them on what are the things we could do. And there are such great institutions, by the way, to really learn from. So I'm actually very humble because a lot of people are very open to sharing. Frankly, by the way, if you were to ask me, I think more people are far more open to sharing than what we think they are. You just have to, reach out and ask to say, I need help, and just sit there and listen to some of them, share some brilliant ideas on how they think of the world. So I try and spend a lot of time, doing that. COVID made it easier, on the contrary, because you don't have to fly anywhere to meet anybody. You could just call for 15, 30 minutes and you get all the gyan from different people.
As I said, I'll keep it the last question and we are on 5th May, 8th May is the Women's Day. We're in Bangalore and we talk about how many women in leadership roles, how many women in boards, how many women in STEM. Tell me, as the founder of such a large company, which has an impact and also employs a lot of people, what are you doing to further women leaders, especially in technology?
Yeah, look, we take a lot of pride in this. I've been public about this, that women are a much better people to have in the company than men. And for a very simple reason, because their level of dedication and their level of commitment cannot be matched. Cannot be matched.
All of you can clap.
We have roughly, I actually believe we are underinvested on the women's side. But still, having said that, we have 38% of our workforce being women. There was a point of time where every global region of our company was run by a woman. Even today, some of the major businesses that we have, for example, our China business run by a woman for the last 9 years. Our Asia business run by a woman, phenomenal leader. Our Roposo platform is run by a woman. So we have a lot of women that are in the leadership positions for us. And we feel very proud of that, and we see their level of dedication. They are those that, and I use that word, the words that I used earlier was very important. I absolutely believe in commitment towards a cause and commitment towards a set of people. I think they're so committed towards a set of people that, they are not faced by short-term ups and downs. And they are not faced by materialistic things as much as probably, a lot of us are. And I feel and I find that they have delivered, disproportionately higher impact than I would have imagined. So I'm always very perturbed and confused when people say, we should promote women. It's like, wait a second, they are actually just going to rule the world, no matter how you look at it. Just that the number of them that are applicable at times is less, and I think that requires grassroots level changes. But March 8 is always very special. We do a lot of stuff at the company. I don't know what we'll do this year. This is a little hard, but it's always been very special.
Thank you so much. Please give Naveen Tiwari a big round of applause. We take maybe 1 or 2 questions. So if you have a question, please raise your hand. And yes, there is a gentleman here. There's a gentleman there. Can we get the mics quickly? Keep your question short. Tell us who you are.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, this is Ajay. Just congratulations. And you were talking about artificial intelligence, and other side you told about retaining the employees in your company. There is always a news that artificial intelligence, robotics and ML will throw human out of the job. Whether it's a myth or whatever, please explain on that. Thank you.
Yeah, look, I agree with you. I think there is a dichotomy in that argument a little bit. But you cannot avoid the wave, right? It'll be like shoveling water with a bucket, at the sea to say I'm going to throw the water back. It's not going to happen. So the solution is not in being defensive about it. The solution is in upskilling everybody so that they are employable in this new world where if somebody else was doing data entry and that's not required anymore, we invest in up-leveling the person who is doing data entry as against trying to save the job, and up-level the person so that they go. Now, these are tectonic transformations. These tectonic transformations will cause disruptions, such that industrialization did, and all of these. So this whole AIification is going to be as impactful as industrialization, which will take some jobs away in a short period of time, but fundamentally will bring humanity back in a much stronger way. So I am not defensive about it, but I am very pro AI. But very importantly, realizing the impact it will have. So systematically, we have to solve for it. We may not have impact at my microcosm, within our own microcosm, but that's not. I don't think that's what you were asking. Within our own company, we may not see the impact, but it will have an impact, and we have to solve for it.
Thank you.
Hi, Naveen. This is Atul from ABP News. So my simple question is, you have highlighted the point which I learn and complete audience has learned. This was the learning. Learning should continue till the life goes on. There is a practical thing which comes in my mind. When I'm in business mode, in daily business, we are all. When learning goes in between, our execution part starts, because learning and the execution. When you learn something, you have to deliver. So especially me, when I'm in completely the delivering mode, the execution of daily of business, the learning goes behind somewhere. I see I need to learn this, but I hold on, let it complete, then go on. How
He's saying sometimes we're too involved in day-to-day, and learning takes a back seat. I think that's what he's asking.
I'll answer that question, but let me tell you something else slightly before that. Why this generation is going to be beaten so badly by the younger generation? Because the younger generation has this ability to do multitasking like nobody's business. They can be on their phone, they can be chatting, they can be watching something, and they can be reading at the same time. And you and I don't have that ability, unfortunately, because we came into this world a little early. Now, the challenge that we do face, so the reality of what you said, it requires us to be bifocal. Our education system told us not to be bifocal. Our education system was such that you've studied once and you're done, right? Because, you were going to get through mostly because you did well somewhere. That one day or few days where the exams were held, you did well, and so therefore all set, your life is set. And that's changed. The world is so dynamically changing because of technology that whatever we learned actually is so obsolete by the time you get out of, within few years. So everything is changing within few years. And I think we have to be bifocal. If you're not in a self-learning mode, then you'll be out. There is no two ways about it. And similarly to that argument around AI, there is a class of people who are not there where they can have this point of view of being bifocal and having this discipline of self-learning. But I think the world's moved to self-learning. The highest, you see the kids of today, they're just using YouTube, etc., to just learn. Yours and our kids would just be doing that all the time, and we would just wait for some report to land on our table so that we read through the report. And I think that's the distinction. I think learning is boiling down to what I would call in a very small capsules. So if you learn in small capsule, then you don't have the issue of stepping back and taking a year to learn. I think today, if you chart out 15 minutes a day, by the way, you would find yourself very different in a year than you were prior to that. But that just required 15 minutes. It's a little bit like exercise. You could say that, I don't need to exercise because I'm well, but you may not be a year later, right? Because you're not exercising. So I think it's that 15 to 30 minutes that you take out for exercise. It's very similar to that. And that excuse nobody's going to buy anymore, unfortunately.
Okay. So we're going to end this. I'm going to request Naval to ask a question. Naval, I want you to ask, because I know from past that Naval will ask a very sharp question.
Should we end it immediately then?
Yes.
No,
Before
no.
the question,
Yes.
yes.
Before
right.
the question.
So I'll take the brick bats, don't worry. So Naveen, I think more than a question, what I'd like to say is that something that's already been spoken about with regards to COVID. I think, as you rightly mentioned, $1 billion valuation eventually might puff up the ego of the entrepreneur and be very good for your vanity, but eventually it's a speck in the universe. And I think what has differentiated companies, especially if you look at the last year, leaders, entrepreneurs, is the empathy that you bring to the table with regards to the people you work with, your co-workers, your partners, your vendors, your clients. And I think that's really set good companies, and good need not mean scale in terms of revenue and valuation alone. Of course, that is eventually the goal of business impact, but bringing empathy to the table, and genuine empathy, not just for CSR and public relations, but genuine empathy. And there are groups, some of the business groups that you earlier mentioned, who've been known to be really good for their people. I think that sets a very strong culture in the company, which makes sure that a lot of the new age companies that are into $1 billion valuations might not even be around 5-7 years down the line, right? Because they'll end up burning the cash. The business models will become obsolete. But creating that culture in the company makes sure that a lot of people come to the table with the learning mindset and kind of keep building
new
on the
ideas.
mistakes. And,
New ideas.
New ideas, because eventually, every entrepreneur, every company is going to make mistakes. Nobody is not going to. It is about what you learn from them. And if the company is watching your back, if the entrepreneur, the owner, the promoter is watching your back and allowing you to make mistakes, I think that really also differentiates.
Let me just extend what you said a little bit. I think, we have all been subjected to this education which is Western. We learn this, corporate America way of dealing with people. And that's largely true in the last 15, 20 years or so. And of course, they write so many books, so we read so many of them, which is okay. I think we should learn. But I think we have now an opportunity to define an Indian way of running corporations. We, by definition, are a lot more empathetic towards, our society, our people. We've just been, in the last 15, 20 years, have been, trained to be little less so because, it was taught and told that being hard, being an ass is much better to be more successful. But that's not true.
Yeah, the old saying was that nice guys finish last, so to say.
Yeah, and that's not true. Look at Microsoft. Satya Nadella is an extremely nice guy. Where is the company? It's, sitting at about $2 trillion of market cap. And he's a very nice guy. He's not an ass, and he doesn't need to be one. So, and I just think that whole, we have an advantage. We are empathetic at the core as a society. So as business leaders and as leaders as we grow, to, bring this empathy at the core of what we do will come far more natural for us. And this whole COVID, etc., has just, brought the importance of that out a lot more. And I think we have an opportunity to, embed that into our corporate cultures, not by forcing it through on a paper, but because we actually mean it. And I think we will come out successful, and we will make that happen because we care for people genuinely.
Thank you. I just want to let Naveen go by asking one thing about what has changed about entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship in the last 12 months? Because clearly something has changed.
Yeah, look, I think there is empathy. I think entrepreneurs are a lot more empathetic. But I think even more so than that, everybody has learned the importance of building a sustainable business. I think, a lot of this unsustainability of businesses and therefore valuations is starting to wane down a lot more quickly. People want to build long-term sustainable businesses with a very high level of empathy and care. And I think that's visible in the conversations one is having around, because everyone has seen, tough times. And when you see the tough times is when you really kind of evolve. And I think the whole ecosystem of entrepreneurship has evolved.
Thank you, Naveen. Congratulations once again. Give for Naveen Tiwari, the Exchange for Media
Thank you so much.
Influencer of the Year 2020, being awarded in March 2021. Congratulations. I'm sure InMobi and Naveen Tiwari will go on to achieve more milestones and landmarks, and hopefully be sustainable for many, many years from here on. Thank you so much. One more round of applause so that you can have more beers. Thank you. It's really civilized. You're right, Naveen. Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause one more time for Naveen Tiwari, and of course, our mentor there with the questions, Dr. Anurag Batra. Quickly, I know everybody wants to attack that, but quickly, I want to thank our partners again for being the best support possible. And very quickly, not faster than, quick clip of our partners being the best, as always. Here we go. Not this guy on the frame. The partners will come a little later. Yeah. And after that, I promise you, bar dekho, we will have that up for you. Look at people already queuing up. We are not giving vaccine shots here, just to tell you. All right, here we go.
न पाबंदी हो न कोई हद हो तो बस खुद बनाई सरहद हो ये मुहिम है परतों में छिपे हर सच की तलाश की सियासत पर रखी पैनी नजर और आंख की खबरों की दुनिया में एक जिम्मेदार आवाज की जुर्म और जुल्म के खिलाफ हर बेबस के लिए इंसाफ की जब कोई हद नहीं इंसानियत के लिए जज्बात की जब कोई हद नहीं खुशियों और ख्वाब की तब कोई हद क्यों हो नए नजरिए और बदलाव की तोड़ के हदों के ताले नए सपनों को पाले बांधे सबको एक धागे आपको रखे आगे एबीपी न्यूज़
right, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. One more for the partners, and of course, for everybody here, and of course, the man himself, the man of the year, influencer of the year 2020, Naveen Tiwari. Everybody, one last time, a big round of applause, please. Okay, my name is Mithun Upadhyay. Nothing much to add on. I am pointing this towards the most happy place. Chain se sona hai, to have a drink. मैं मार खाऊंगा. I request you all to please go. Of course, the dinner is open as well. Have a great evening. This is Friday. Have a great weekend as well. And please maintain social distancing. Wear mask apart from this. And thank you again for joining us here. Thank you again.